Yes, I'm sorry. So software as a service. Another one is a private cloud, platform as a service. In public cloud, you can access your Fusion Up product, but there will be some limitations. DBS are required in the cloud environment. You don't need to worry about the DBS. Oracle DBS will take care of it. 24/7. Oracle DBS will take care of your servers. That's we can forget completely. Okay. So in the SaaS model, technical wise, there will be some limitations. There will be some limitations. But if client says, no, I don't want to have any limitations, I would like to customize the product as per my requirement. I don't want to have any limitations. Then the client has to go for private cloud. They are supposed to go for private cloud. I'm sorry, guys. So here we can see that platform as a service. So what Oracle says, if you have a huge customization, so you better go for private cloud, means dedicated server will be allocated to the client. Dedicated. So platform as a service. So we got platform as a service. So it is an individual server. So it is an individual server. Dedicated server will be allocated to the client. So here shared server. Here shared server means same server will be used by the multiple clients. But how the data security, how the customizations, this all will be taken care by the cloud computing developers. That is Oracle team, core team will be there, who will maintain the data centers. They'll take care of that, how to configure the same server for multiple clients, dedicated server to the single clients, they'll take care of it. Okay. So in the cloud environment, if any client says, I want to use my ERP in the cloud, I don't want to buy my server, let me keep my ERP software in your server, means in your cloud. Then what Oracle says, there are two options, SaaS model or PaaS model, which one you would like to go. If client says, I don't have much customizations, then they can go for SaaS. Yes, I have a huge customizations, then they'll request to go for PaaS model. So I'll explain what is possible in SaaS, what is not possible, and what are the things here. Here everything is done. I'm not explaining about on-premises because that is a traditional ERP type of implementation. In on-premises, anything is possible. So you can go for up to extend level because you want to take a risk. The client would like to take a risk. That is client responsibility. So other than some standard functionality, remaining whatever you want, you can do it. Okay. So in SaaS environment, you can go for inbound interfaces, means you can load the data. Generally, functionally, there is no problem. Functional role is common in the SaaS model or PaaS model or on-premises. If somebody says that I worked in the cloud as a functional consultant, or I worked in the on-premises as a functional consultant, we could not find much difference because the functional is fully accessible in any environment. I'm just talking about only technical part. So in SaaS model, like you, EBS people, you might be knowing RISE components, right? Same thing here, reports, we can do it, BI reports and OTBI reports, OTBI dashboards, both you can develop and customize. And after that, inbound interfaces, we can go for load. And outbound interface means you can extract the data and you can go for ADF personalizations. And as usual, we will see value sets. As usual, we will see flex fields. As usual, we will see the lookups and the security. This all we will find in the SaaS environment. What is missing here is ADF pages. If you want to develop the same features you will see in the PaaS environment also. So what it is missing here is, let me have some more cells here. If I want to develop any new ADF page, here I don't have. In SaaS model, it is not possible. We can't develop the new pages. Recently, Oracle has given page integration option, but still it is under testing. So they given the option here, Developer Connect. So through Developer Connect, we can build our own pages, okay, and we can go for have our own options, but still it is under testing. So far, no option, but maybe in future, Oracle provide to go for providing options this. But at this point of time, we don't have any facility to develop the new pages. That's it. Except that, remaining all are same. And here you can access to the FTP, means file server. You can upload the file. Obviously, if you develop a new page, then you are supposed to upload your form files to the server, and you have to go for deploy it and register and access from the application, right? You need file server access, they'll provide, and database server. And access to the database. Here also there will be access, but only select statement. Here you can go for build the reports. In reports, what we will do, we'll just go for write a query and extract the data and show it in a proper format, PDF or Excel, right? So only select statement is allowed over here. So only select statement we can go for write over here. We cannot go for any DDL operations type things here. So it is not possible. If you want to go for perform some create a table and have the data and create sequence, this type of things are not possible in this environment in the SaaS model. So here we can write only queries. There is some incompatibility problem. Browser compatibility is not good. There will be some small issues because this is a Vision instance provided by Oracle. You can go for write here your own demos. And standard SQL, you can write some procedures and non-standard SQL type of things. And then you can go for like this, you can go for build your own queries. And you can start building reports and all this. You can write busting concept, list of values, triggers. This is possible. So in the SaaS environment, it can be done, but you will not be having. This is the difference between the platform as a service. If some client says that I want to create some tables, I would like to have some ER diagrams between the table database design. This is not possible in this environment. Then the client has to go for PaaS model, platform as a service. Okay. So that's the technical difference between the SaaS environment and PaaS environment. Functionally, no difference, whether you work in the SaaS or PaaS model or in implementation. So all are same. So we'll be going for doing the setups and all. So is everybody clear? Any doubts you have regarding the cloud options? Now, 90% of the projects are going on in the SaaS model. Still, the clients are a little bit, because the PaaS environment is a little bit expensive. On-premises is very expensive. Okay. So far, just EBS clients are only 2% has moved into Fusion. So far, just 2% of the clients has been moved from EBS to Fusion. 98% of the clients are supposed to move to the Fusion in the down forward next 4 or 5 years. and a lot of new clients are coming to the client other than the EBS who are already using. So they are subscribing into the SaaS environment. Recently, if you look at recently, ICICI has implemented HCM, Human Capital Management. Airtel is already using the Fusion Cloud. And we can see Fujitsu is implemented for their 20 countries. And Tesco has implemented for their retail industries. A lot of clients as there. FedEx company has implemented like this. And you might be seeing ACT fiber network. So if you are in India from Bangalore or somewhere, you might be knowing ACT fiber net broadband internet connections. So they use Oracle Fusion to maintain their complete enterprise data. So this clients are in the SaaS environment. So obviously, if they want to have some huge customizations, they have to go for platform as a service. If somebody says, no, I would like to have my own server, then they can go ahead with their own on-premises. Okay. Fine. So let me go for about the different releases of the Fusion ERP. So the Fusion ERP, it has started release 8 version. It was in 2015, 4 years back. 2014 and 15 we were having release 8. So initially Oracle has introduced only HCM, financials, procurement. It was actually failure product. Only HCM has got little bit good feedback from the clients. Release 8, release 9 also same problem. Release 10 also, but release 11. This is a good version which has got very good feedback from the clients. Release 11. So where the HCM has introduced financials, procurement, inventory, order management. Only 3 modules are introduced: procurement, inventory, OM. From supply point of view, HCM full-fledged, financials full-fledged, APAR, GL, everything is done. In release 12 version, complete supply chain management as provided in 2016. December means almost 17. 2017 January they started releasing. Now the latest version which is going on is release 13 as a Fusion product. It has got HCM, human capital management, financials, and supply chain management, manufacturing, and VCP modules also here we got it. So this database, yes, if any client would like to go for on-premises, they can buy the software, install in their server. They can have their own DBS and maintain that. If client says, I don't want to take that risk, let me go for cloud, yes. So within 24 hours, they can start implementation of their ERP to their client. Okay, so that's the versions release of the product. Now, if we look at what are the offerings we have in Fusion ERP. So as we discussed, we have financials. If any client wanted to maintain their financial transactions, they can buy only Fusion financials. General ledger is there, account payables is there, asset management, fixed assets, account receivables, account payables, and collections, payments and collections, account receivables, cash and expense management, nothing but a cash management, and KPIs and dashboards, nothing but built-in reports, nothing but a built-in reports and dashboards, and we have the analytics, So the financial management suite is completely stabilized. Now every client can go ahead with, if anybody would like to go ahead with financials, yes, they can buy it. Then the second one is a human capital management, nothing but a HRMS. Earlier we used to call it as a HR. So HCM is completely stabilized right from the beginning of the Fusion starting. It's got around 10 modules like global HR, payroll, options management, talent management, compensation, self-service HR, and the time and labor. and the benefits modules. These KPIs and dashboards are common in any offering, financial offering or HCM offering. The dashboards and KPIs are common. Nothing but BI reports, OTBI reports, and the security is common in any offering. Then here we are right now. This is what actual our demo, supply chain management. This is ours. So product management is basically used to create our inventory items, item category, item categories and all. Asset management, EAM, enterprise asset management. GOP, global order processing, order management. There will be some name changes here. We will find some name change over here. We will not find like order management type of same names. Distributed order orchestration, DOO orders, and cost management. And we'll see the logistics, shipping, receiving, and inventory. And KPIs and dashboards is common. KPIs and dashboards both are common over here. It is. So we'll be discussing complete supply chain management except this asset management. Asset management we are not going to talk. Remaining all we are going to discuss. So EAM is not going to be a part of our syllabus. Okay, next. After that, like in EBS, we used to have projects, Oracle projects. Now we will call it as a PPM, project portfolio management in Fusion applications, like project costing, project billing, project performance, controlling budget, and KPIs and dashboards are common. Now the thing has come, main one is a procurement. Procurement is separate in the Fusion. Like in EBS, when we say supply chain management, it includes the procurement, inventory, order management, right? But in Fusion, procurement is separate. Why Oracle has separated this procurement from supply chain management is in the initial versions. Like if you look at our previous versions, here. So starting in release 8, in the starting of the Fusion Cloud, they introduced the procurement first because the supply chain management complete product, it was not ready. Inventory and order management was not ready. Meanwhile, the clients were mainly asking procurement because the clients already experienced high procurement, high expenses, high customers, high supplier portals, this all. They are already compatible for web application of that. That's the reason the client's expectation was we want immediate procurement. That's the reason the Oracle has introduced procurement first to the client. Then in the release 11, they introduced inventory and OM. In release 12, then supply chain management SCM. The supply chain management SCM. So that's the reason the procurement is separate and supply chain management is separate in the Fusion. Because some clients would like to implement only procurement. They would like to go for implementation of only procurement. Here it is. Okay. So in procurement, we'll be talking about purchasing, self-service procurement, and sourcing, supplier portal, this all. And then CRM, customer relationship management, and GRC, governance, risk and compliance. So after implement the product, where is the risk and where is the issues, where are the access controls and transaction controls, that controlling entire your project. But very few clients will go for GRC, not all the clients. So this is going to be our syllabus, supply chain management and the procurement. So it's clear everybody about the offerings which are available in the cloud. So almost all the modules are introduced by Oracle. Whatever EBS modules are there, maximum ERP is required, whatever Oracle has introduced all the modules here. So any doubts here? Anybody would like to talk with me? You have two options. You can raise the hand from your system. You have the option. If somebody would like to talk with me, please raise the hand. And you have any small doubts, you can go for enter in the chat window. Yes, Mahavir, please go ahead.
Uh, in cloud, do we have the same table structure, or is it different? Like for purchasing, we have PO,
Yes.
shipment, distribution. So will it be same, or it will be different?
75% of the tables are same from EBS. Same database design is there in Fusion. Around 20-25% is different in Fusion, because especially when it comes to the supply chain management, earlier we used to have OE order headers all, OE order lines all type of tables. Those are there, but now here we got different orders like DOO orchestration and global order promising type of different concept as introduced by Oracle. There are some differences. We'll be discussing about those database model here. Let me show you. Generally, we will find our Oracle will provide you the table, entire database tables and all, but there will be some hundreds of tables, but we need to understand, like I want to know what are the tables are there for our order management here, shipping, receiving, this all tables will find here. WSH, delivery details, this type of tables are common, we used to have in our EBS. So those tables are same, but some tables are changed. Like if we talk about supply chain, DOO tables are introduced here, and product tables are different, item tables are different, distributed or order orchestration like this. So this is a part of our course syllabus. It's going to be a techno-functional, as I told. This is going to be our syllabus in Fusion ERP product. I'm sorry. So we have financials functional, we have human capital management, supply chain management, CR. So out of that, we are talking about supply chain management. So the RTL training is providing, they are providing both financials, supply chain management, and the human capital management. Earlier, we used to provide technical as a separate course, Fusion technical as a separate course. But now the market, in the cloud market, what the client's expectation is, you should be a techno-functional consultant. Okay, so you must to do the setups, and also you are supposed to do the technical in this environment, in the SaaS model. Of course, when it comes to the PaaS environment, obviously the functional person can't do the technical work. It is a difficult, because building the pages and servers, dealing database designing is not possible from the functional consultant. Obviously, we need specialized technical consultants, specialists are required. But in this area, the functional consultant also can work as a technical, except some BI reports, because in BI reports, simple queries we can write, not a problem, but obviously there will be a complex requirements. That time technical specialist is required, query specialist. Except that, remaining all functional consultant can do it. Okay, that's the reason we designed our course as a complete functional end-to-end setups. All these modules we are going to discuss, and also technically we'll be discussing how the data can be loaded and how the data can be extracted by using BI, and customization, security, personalizations, data integrations. Of course, approvals we have to explain, because in procurement and other places approvals are there, and that functionally we are going to discuss, as well as the technical part also. SaaS model 100% we are going to discuss it is. Okay. So when we are talking about the BI reports and all, we'll be discussing about the tables. So the base concept is very less positions for technical consultants in the cloud environment. That positions also very junior level. 3 to 5 years of experience consultant is sufficient for technical. If somebody is good in queries, if somebody is good in web services like API consumer, data loading for data extractions, cloud integrations, then they can do it. I don't think so we'll find a senior level technical consultant positions in the cloud. There will be a junior level, 3 to 5 years, not more than that. Okay, functional consultant, obviously, as soon as you have experience and you will be having a asset in your skill set. So some people says I'm working in Oracle Apps Technical. I want to learn only in technical in cloud. So I don't think so. As per my personal opinion, is with my experience, it is difficult to be a technical person here in the cloud survival as a senior. But it is a fact that the technical guy also must learn the functional. Whether you learn financials or human capital management or supply, of course, CRM is not much stabilized. Any of these three, you must be a functional consultant with including end-to-end setups, requirement gathering, questionnaire section, interacting with the business units, and preparation of documentations, testing, and this all we are supposed to do it. So it is mandatory. It may be a little bit hard. People who are working in EBS technically last 10 years or 12 years, they may say it's difficult for us to move into the functional, but no chance. If we want to enter into the cloud of Fusion, if we want to work with Fusion ERP, it is mandatory. We must own one particular domain. That is a finance or HR or supply. It depends on interest. Out of three, initially HCM has got very good and stabilized. Then financials has got very good, stabilized. Now supply chain management also stabilized. So all three domains are good. It is fine. So any other doubts here? And here is the technology difference. This is for technical guys. If somebody wanted to know the technical difference between EBS and Fusion, database point of view, in EBS 10G, now here 11G. In EBS, we used to have DTK forms and OAF. Now here application server, WebLogic server. And here, as I told, DTK forms and JSPs. But here ADF, complete ADF pages. And portals, Oracle portal was there. Now here Web Center content server is there. Here is our data model. Just now somebody has asked about the data model, right? Oracle EBS data model, same model as introduced, as I told, 70% is same. Then some CBEL also has came, some PeopleSoft trees concept has came. That will be the difference in the database side. So attachments, we have something new concept called Stellant. And workflows and approvals, we used to write earlier PLSQL, now here BEPL processing. And we used to have earlier D2K reports and Discover reports, and of course BI also was there, XML and BI. Now it starts with BI Publisher. In Fusion, BI Publisher and OTBI. And analytics point of view, Discover reports we used to have in EBS. Here OBI is introduced. And in EBS, especially in General Ledger, financials, you might have seen FSG, Financial Statement Generator. In the place of FSG, we got Hyperion. We got Hyperion tool here for reporting purpose. Integrations, we got web services mainly, BEPL and web services. BEPL. Earlier XML gateway was there, but now here adapters we have, BEPL adapters we have in the Fusion. So that's the difference here. Yes, Priyanka, we are going to provide you this entire course will take 2 months, 45 working hours. It means at almost 2 months. We will give the server access for 6 months. Server access for 6 months. You need just an internet connection so that you can just go for login and do the practice, and you can go ahead with that. Okay. Fine. So this is about the syllabus, what I have explained. So what is our agenda today morning? We talked about what is ERP, different ERPs in the industry, what is cloud and what is on-premises, different types of clouds and what are cloud offerings, difference between EBS and Fusion technology-wise, and what modules we'll be discussing functionally, technically, and just we wanted to see how it looks like supplier creation and requisition. Before that, I just wanted to confirm you the syllabus graphically here. So this entire supply chain management we are going to discuss except EAM. And then we are going to talk about the procurement here. We'll be talking about purchasing, self-service procurement, sourcing and all. And most of the people might be knowing something called FSM, Functional Setup Manager. It's like in EBS, you might have seen AOL, Application Object Library. It's combination of two modules, two responsibilities. Same concept in EBS also, in Fusion also. FSC, Functional Setup Manager. FSM, Functional Setup Manager, will have two roles, IT security and application implementation consultant. There will be two roles. So whereas in EBS, we used to have AOL and system administrator and application developer, right? Same way in Fusion, we have these two roles, functional setup manager, IT security and application. I'll just show you how to create an username in the Fusion, how to attach the roles. Just go to the navigator and we'll go for security console. The entire product is role based, whereas EBS is responsibility based. In EBS, for example, you want to access the purchasing features, you need to have the access to purchasing responsibility. Here you need to have the access to purchasing role. So there we used to have the responsibilities. Here we have the roles. Here we have the roles. So I'm going to show you how to create an user account. Okay. So after creating the user, I just wanted to add two basic roles. One is IT security manager, so that you can go for maintain the securities from this user. Let me add this role. And another one is application implementation consultant. Two roles I have added for this user. Let me go for close it and log out from the current user and log in with the new user what we have created. So now the user is able to log in, and this user is having the access to the implementation of the product, setup and maintenance. So this is called FSM, Functional Setup Manager. From here only we are going to implement our Fusion applications to the client. So when I go to the task list, here is option implementation project. What is implementation project? It's nothing but a group of modules you are implementing to your client. Let's say your client has came, I just want two modules only, procurement and inventory. Yes, go to implementation project, create implementation project, mention the name of the project and click next button. And here we are supposed to select whatever you want to implement to your client. So only those modules will be available in the server. It will be available. Obviously, generally when the client has subscribed to Oracle Cloud, Oracle will ask the client, okay, So what you would like to go for implement for your business? Is procurement is enough, or you want to financials? In financials again, you want to only APR, GL, or you would like to have fixed assets? Like this, there will be obviously negotiations, discussions, and finally they'll go for a selection of this. So I'm just selecting the procurement here and product management. Save and open the project. And this is the place where we are going to perform all our setups. This is called, this environment we call it as a FSM, Functional Setup Manager. All our functional setups will be performing here. So item creation, document types, items, and everything will do it from here. So you can see. After creating implementation project, maybe after 1 month or 2 months or 6 months, the client wanted to add some more offerings. They want to add financials, no problem, you can add. They want to add something called order management. Yes, they can go for add it. Yes. So you can subscribe to that product and go ahead with that. This is how it will be included into the project. So who will create this implementation project in the real time is project manager is going to create. Obviously, we also must know it, how to do that. Then why it is useful is, generally, you take any ERP project or any IT project, there will be a manager who will have the complete idea of the project, what tasks has to be completed, when they have to complete, to whom they have to assign the task, what is the status of the task, what is the history of the task, and remarks, comments, errors. These all things has to be maintained properly in the project. That is a job of project manager, right? So that entire process can be maintained here in this. You can assign the tasks here, finding the status, see, assign to the multiple users, due dates and permissions. This all it can be done. So project manager is going to create an implementation project and is going to select what modules you would like to implement to the client, and he will go for select the tasks, and he will assign the tasks to the users, either one person or multiple. Users are nothing but the team members, and he will set the due dates, and obviously user, when they log in, they'll be able to access that, and they are supposed to perform the task and update the status, whether it's completed or not, in progress, what are the remarks, this all entire history will be maintained here. And project manager can check at any point of time the project status from here. What is the status of the project? Generally in EBS and other ERPs, I don't have idea, but in EBS, the project manager used to maintain this entire information in a separate tool or an Excel sheet, or they used to have separate option. But in Fusion, everything is built in. So the complete project assignment status, how many tasks are completed last week and started, in progress, completed, reason, resource-wise status, assignment-wise status, assignment-wise by the task list. This everything will be fine. They'll be able to find what setups are done, how many tasks we have to complete, how many tasks we have assigned. This every information will find. Users-wise, we can search here like this. Okay, so that is called an implementation project. We call it as a FSM, Functional Setup Manage. So we'll be able to get it here. So here, whatever you do, it is a setups, and here, whatever you do, it is a transactions. It is a transactions. Generally in EBS, when you select a responsibility, the first 4 or 5 menus are transactions. In the last, you will see obviously the setups, right? That's in the same menu, you will be able to see both setups and transactions. But here, slightly difference. We'll be doing the setups from here, and we'll be doing the transactions from here. For example, you would like to create a requisition from the procurement and other options, then you will be able to do it here. Okay, so let me attach some couple of roles to this user. So right now only implementation user is there, right? So go to security console. Which user? India, right? India user. Go to users. We'll be talking about complete roles, how we can create a roles, how to create user, how to make user as a buyer, this all setup. let me search this user, and I just want to add a supplier role, add role, supplier manager. Basic role I'm adding employee. So we have different types of roles actually in Fusion, like abstract role, data role, job role, duty roles. There will be a little bit confusion, not more than that, but once we practice, it will be very easy. In the initial stage, Fusion will be a little bit confusing, but once you practice for at least 1 week, then it will be very easy. In the initial stage, people who has came from EBS background, they feel that why we need this much of confusion and a lot of navigations and all. But once you are familiar with the concept and the navigations, then there won't be any problem. Right. Let me log out and log in. Once we add the roles, there is a process called LDAP process we are supposed to run. If you are not running that process, you are supposed to log out and log in. Then we can see the differences in our offerings here. So product information management, and we got fixed assets. Just now I added payables, right? Payables manager to create invoices, and payable dashboards I can see over here. Supply chain management here, receivables, and here is our supplier manager, procurement. Go to suppliers, and you can create a supplier, or you can search supplier, you can import the suppliers, merge the suppliers. Supplier also can register this software, this username and password, they can log in and access.